Yay. Well, I'm glad you guys are here. And today we're just going to talk through some ways to do a custom scan and even load in different types of supplements and things as well. And I will also answer some questions. I've had some specific questions about the custom scans and some kind of how to navigate the results of the scan itself. And so and it's one of my favorite tool parts of the AO scan. So, and I know I feel like our AO scan tool has become so versatile and so many different options to be able to use with it that when new people come in, or even people who've been using it for a bit, it can be a bit overwhelming with all of the different options and things that are available. So so I'm in the view on the AO scan. This is one of the newer views. Have you guys see, I'm sure you probably have. Have you played around with some of the newer views of this, Anya Maria?
No, I am guilty. I have not. I'm using the tried and true method, so I don't screw myself up right now. Yes. So I'm just, I have it on my plate to spend some time to switch over, but I know I always break stuff or get confused, and then I get frustrated. So I'm trying to just. That's why I wanted to watch this so I could get accustomed with the stuff in the new view, so I can get a better idea of how to do it when I get there.
Yeah. Well, this view, I mean, really is just more, I call it kind of eye candy, more like eye candy. But the other views are just as user friendly. So if you scroll down in the newer view, if you scroll down to quick scans and then you scroll over to custom, here's where we're talking about these
okay.
custom
I'm going to follow you.
Here.
I'm going to follow you in the old view.
Yes.
Hold on a sec.
You can. You just scroll down to the scans and then go into custom. And I'm just going to show you what I have personally set up. You can set this up lots of different ways. This is just how I have it set up. And then I'll show you some different ways that you can load in different categories and different tools. And I think this is a part of the AO scan that some people don't even use at all, which is great. Again, I feel like this tool, this wellness tool, is so robust that you can just pick and choose what parts of the tool. You don't have to feel like, oh, I have to do all the things in this, because you could be using it all day long, literally.
Right.
Right, Chris?
So,
literally.
So, Amy, yeah. So I only have, when I go into, this is custom. Is it quick scan? From quick scan?
Yeah, it's under the quick scan.
Okay, so when I go there, I don't have all these options. I don't have essential oils or.
Yes, and that's because I set them up that way.
But I don't even, good. So I don't even know how to get that put into my menu.
Yeah, you probably just have morning, midday, evening, and general, probably.
Yeah, I only have 4 things. Yeah.
Yeah. So to begin with, when you open your quick scan in the customs, yours is going to look a little bit different than this. Yours is probably only going to have a few categories. Now I've added in categories.
Yeah,
so
I like that.
I'm just going to go through and show you what I have. And then, and it does take a bit of time to set it up like this.
Oh.
But what I did is I just kind of over time, best as I got a new supplement or as I was using something more often, then I would load it into the custom supplement scan. So, and what I mean when I say load it in, I mean you are, and I'll show you guys how to do this, but what I mean by loading it in is taking a glass, typically a glass shot glass, because frequencies are transmitted more readily through glass, is by adding your supplement, your therapy, your modality of therapy into the glass and transmitting it to the device or to the technology, and then it's loaded in, and you can add it into a specific category that you choose. But so I'll show you what I have here. So again, this is under quick scans under the custom category, and you see I have morning categories, and I have only things in here that would that I want to come up in for the morning time, right? So maybe if you have something that you use for bedtime or for helping support sleep, for example, like the Solex sleep spray, or if you have specific essential oils or things that you use in the evening time, you wouldn't want to put them in the morning category necessarily, unless you do. I do have some essential oils that are kind of advertised for rest, that also are just great for calming the mind. So, but if you have something specifically, like melatonin or something that you want only in the evening to come up, then you would only have that. Also, I have supplements loaded in that are just into the category of essential oils. I wanted to group those separately because if I want to do a scan and I don't want them to come up, or I only want to scan that category, then I can just select essential oils and it will only look in that category for me. Or if I'm doing a cleanse or a detox, then I put items in there specifically in that category. Now, you can put supplements in multiple categories. So if you have something that you take sometimes in the morning time, and it's also an essential oil, or it's also a specific kind of bit more therapeutic supplement, then you can have it in multiple categories. This is actually my newest category of superfoods. I started to have some of my superfoods looked into things like beet kvass and camu camu powder, and I have some of my mushrooms in these superfoods categories. So I wanted to know if there were some specific superfoods that I wanted to have them in a specific category, and if I pull them up, I want to know what kind of I'm scanning for in that category. Now, you can even, like, there are some days where I go into the custom scan and I say, okay, I want to know what's going to come up for me in the morning time and for essential oils. And you know what? I am curious to see if there's any kind of therapies that come up. And what I've categorized as things like therapies is maybe something like something that you wouldn't take like a daily vitamin or supplement, but maybe it's something for a specific support of the area of the body. For example, like I have some bilberry eye, which are very supportive to the vision, your vision. So I might have that in a category of like therapies. I would include even things like red light therapy, if you wanted to load in something like that, would be in those kinds of categories, what I would consider in those kind of therapeutic modalities. But you can kind of set it however you want to. The homeopathic category are the things that are already all preloaded onto the AO scan. I just moved those into that homeopathic category so that I would know if I wanted to scan and maybe I have some essential oils that come up for me and some homeopathic remedies. I don't want to take those at the same time. So Or if I'm only wanting to scan for some homeopathic remedies, then I can tell the AO scan, look, only show me what's coming up for me in the homeopathic area, because that's where I want to focus. Or even when I do this with clients, sometimes if somebody is more familiar with homeopathic remedies than some other things, then I can just pick that category and I can just scan those for them. So it becomes really useful to have these in different categories, so then you can kind of pick and choose. Again, if you have kids and you have things that you want that are maybe either in smaller dosages or something that is a specific to like a kid's line of something that you use, then you can do that in there as well. So I have things loaded in that are smaller dosaging, or like I said, for things that are specifically promoted for kids, I have those in there so that I could just select that and then do that. So I'll show you just kind of as a test here what this looks like. So if I selected that, the therapies and then superfoods, we'll say we're going to select all of those. Okay. And then I'm going to click next. And then I like to, even though this particular scan, you don't necessarily have to do this, I like to go ahead and speak into the microphone. I like to record my voice doing it. I don't know if it does anything different, but I do personally like to ask Jesus to show me what tools I need to bring balance to my body during that time frame. So that's what I do. I'll do it and I'll say, hello, AO, I'm Amy Miller, and I'm asking you, Jesus, this morning or this afternoon to show me what I need to bring balance to my body right now. And then it's going to pull up a huge, long list. Don't let this overwhelm you. So what it's going to do is, normally, if you've ever done a quick scan in the AO scan, or like just a morning, or you've done the inner voice where it also is looking at vitals and things, it'll pull up only the top 6 items that your body's responding best to. In the custom scan, it does it a little bit differently. It's going to pull up everything in that category, as many items that you responded well to. So you'll see morning time has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 items. And then you'll see in the essential oil category, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 items. In the therapies category, there's a lot more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then under superfoods, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there's not like a set number. I've even had sometimes where 3 items come up in a particular category. So the custom scan really is going to pinpoint exactly what your body's responding best to. And what I do is, you'll see that I have things in multiple categories. For example, let me see, what do I have? Oh, so for example, I have trace minerals. I have some concentrate trace minerals in the morning category, and I have them in the therapies category, and they came up both times. So I'm looking for patterns. If something comes up multiple times in 2 different categories, then I know I probably, number one, with trace minerals, I probably either need to be drinking more water right now, or I need to go add some trace minerals into my water, and I'll go do that. So I'm just taking a quick glance of things that might be coming up at the top, because those are going to be the most, my body's responding best to those. So I mentioned the camu powder, that's also in morning and in under superfoods as well. And you see that was the top item that came up under both. So I'm probably going to go maybe put some camu powder. Either, I probably won't put it in my water because it doesn't taste so great. But if you've ever had it, it's super high in vitamin C. So it's like bitter, like tasting a bitter orange. But I might put it in a smoothie or something else that I'm drinking that will kind of mask the flavor a little bit. And then I'm just going to go through in here, and I'm probably going to take maybe the top two items or whatever else kind of jumps out at me that I notice that, you know what, I haven't been feeling so well. So maybe I do need to have some additional support with my, wellness, my immune system or something. So I'll grab something from one of these areas. But this also will come up with exact actual dosaging too. So for example, under therapies, it'll say TUDCA, 2 capsules. Well, I have 1 capsule loaded in as well. So it will tell me, hey, your body is responding well to 2 capsules of the TUDCA right now. Not 1 capsule, not 3 capsules, but 2 capsules. So I can go through here and I can pinpoint specific items. I don't use this scan all the time, but it is my favorite when I want to know from multiple categories what's coming up, and I don't want just the top 6. I want to know what's coming up most for me in therapies, what's coming up most for me under essential oils, what's coming up for me most in superfoods, and then I can decide from there what I want to take. So to some, this may be too overwhelming and they feel like they have to take it all or are not sure what to do with it. So I don't say this is for everybody, but I do like to have that flexibility with that. Any questions about how I have this set up right now or anything? I'll walk you guys through how this is.
Yeah. One question, Amy. So yeah, when you get a lot of stuff coming up, like the way I handle it sometimes, and again, I want to see you walk through this because I want to set mine up because again, I don't have a lot of categories and I want to get a lot of categories in. So I want to see that step. But with all this stuff you're seeing, like I would pick out, like you're talking about, a couple things that really my body all of a sudden resonates to doing that. Can you take samples of the rest of the stuff, put it in a jar, frequency it, and drink it down in water? So that's what I would do. So if there were like 10 other supplements or something like that, I would take them out of the bottle, whatever, put them in my little glass, stick them, frequency them, either put them on a dot or I drink the water right away and try to just get them in that way as a bulk, like frequency download.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Kind of bombarding your system of those. Yes, absolutely. That's another great way to take this information and go on with it. Okay. Now, I will say, I have had circumstances come up where a colleague asked me, she had loaded in different, for as an example, I think it was different dosaging of some digestive enzymes, right? And she would scan and it would have the enzymes in multiple categories, multiple times. And for example, it would say the digestive enzyme 2 capsules, digestive enzyme 3 capsules, digestive enzyme 10 capsules. And now obviously she would have had to have loaded them in that way, right? But she thought that there was some kind of error with this. Why would it say I need this many, and why would it say it multiple times? Well, at first I didn't know what to make of that. Longer that I've used this particular scan, I've realized that no, the body is saying I need a bombardment of that right now. And you can either take those, for example, as your body is healing through an injury or something, for example, a broken arm or something, and maybe you're taking some supplements that are helping support that process with inflammation or things like that. You know that there's a period of time where you may want to bombard the system short term as your body's healing. Short term, bombard your system with that particular supplement or therapy modality, and so your body is saying, "Yeah, I need that bombardment of that particular thing." And maybe it's just a short time, maybe it's just that day, but it's not a glitch in the system. It's your body saying, "Yes, I need this right now." because I've noticed over time, I haven't had that particular instance come up for me, even though I have digestive enzymes loaded into the scanner and I have different dosaging of them. I have seen that with a couple of other things. And I've realized over time that that is just my body is saying, yeah, I need this one particular instance or this day, this time period. I'm needing a bombardment of that. And it's not to say that, that's something I need for a week necessarily, or even very long, but my body is saying, hey, right now. So, for example, I'm looking here, Megaspore Biotic, which is a probiotic, and it says 3 capsules there. I have seen where it'll say a Megaspore 3 capsules, and then right underneath it, it'll say 2 capsules. So my body is needing a bombardment of probiotics, or it may say 2 different brands of probiotics in there that I have loaded, so if I'm seeing a pattern there of supplements that are coming up that are all kind of addressing a similar issue, then it just kind of goes as a confirmation of maybe what you may already be noticing that's happening in the body, or some additional support that your body is needing. So, so any other questions about that before I show you kind of how to actually set up the categories and do different types of supplements loaded in? No. Well, before, nope. When you're using this scanner, if you are wanting to immediately load those frequencies, Anya Maria, like you were saying, at the bottom of that screen, you'll see there's an erase button. So you can go and erase. What you'll do is you're not going to want to, I'm showing you on the computer, but you'll want to take on the AO scan device itself, you'll just set the glass on there, erase the glass, whatever frequencies have attached to the glass, not the innate frequencies, but any else, we'll erase that, and then you can load in whatever else you want to that way. So I will say, don't move off this screen if you're using it until you're ready, because once you move off this screen, it will not save it. So once you're finished, you click finish. This will kind of disappear forever. So just be aware of that. So just the scan doesn't save this information. So so once you click finish, that's gone.
So do you ever notice that you'll do one, you could do a full scan like that, a bunch of this stuff comes up, and then if you just do another scan right away, different stuff comes up. So what is it reading that's different? So some stuff pops off, some new stuff comes on. Like sometimes I'll just boo-boo it out and I'll be like, oh, I hit the finish button and I got to go back. Or I just say, let me try this again. And interesting enough, I always used my voice on that 10-second scan. I always thought you're supposed to do that. I didn't know that you just could speak or not speak. So I would always do the 10-second speak like in the inner voice. So that's interesting that you said that. But so anyway, what do you think it is when you do a repetitive back-to-back scan? Are you processing something energetically that maybe clears in the few minutes between 2 scans, right? Because you mentally may have gone down and looked at something. So you mentally may have cleared, or emotionally may have instantly cleared something to where the next scan might not pick it up.
Yes. Let me answer that. Let me first go back to, I'm going to answer what you said about the repetitive scans, Anya Maria, but let me go back to what you said about the using the voice or not using the voice. And maybe Christine, you want to chime in at all here. The scanner will tell you what it needs. And so if you don't have to speak, it will tell, I think it just doesn't say it. But Christine, do you have anything you want to share about that as far as using your voice versus not using your voice?
So for the custom scan, quick scans, I do not use voice, but we have shifted to using Hello AO, and Hello AO does use your voice. And I switched to that because it's much simpler. My kids can go in, and I have the supplements all under them in their supplement library, so it's there. And so when they do Hello AO, I love that they added an erase button, so they can erase their water, they can imprint everything, we can look at what foods for the day, listen to a quick tone. So we're using that one more often, so we are using the voice. But when I do a quick scan, I'm not using the voice, and it's been accurate for us.
Okay.
Yeah. And what Christy's talking about here is right under Hello AO on the other view, Anya Maria, that you're looking at. I think it's in the top left corner, if I'm not mistaken. But it's just a quick Hello AO button. And this is going to do exactly what the custom scan does. It's just only going to show you 6 items, which is much simpler. Yeah. Especially, Christy, how you're describing it, when your kids are using it, that's a great way to they just push the button, they speak,
go.
Show them exactly what they might need for the day. And it's only going to show them 6 or less. It could even show them less than 6. Have you ever had that happen, Christy? I've seen that show even less than 6 items.
So we began using it when they had symptoms of a cold. And so we did it. And within 24 hours, the symptoms cleared, but we continued using it. And so I think it was addressing something specific in the body. And that's why we were getting the full 6. But the other thing is, because it tells you the mismatch of foods, it's been very interesting for me that the kids are telling me things they don't want to eat, and then it's showing up on their scan that it's a mismatch for them. So it's really helpful to learn how to listen to your body. You know, we have a tool, but our bodies tell us if we learn to tune into them.
Yes.
So it's been very helpful for that as well.
Yeah. So, so let me go up here, and I'm just going to click on the face button in the other view, Anna Maria, just in the top right hand corner. You'll see right under your name, it'll say supplements/therapies. And when you click on that, this is where all the loading and the naming of category happens.
Yep.
And just like this is going to be unique to me, this is going to be unique to each one of you. You know, if you don't use mushrooms, then you're not going to load in mushrooms. If you don't have kids, then you're not going to load anything necessarily for kids. You're maybe working with them in your wellness business or things like that. So, so this can be unique to you. In the top right is, I think this is the place where all of the preloaded stuff is, if I'm not mistaken.
Homeopathics are in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I see a lot of...
the little open book.
Yeah.
All of the things. Yeah.
So I see a lot of homeopathics in it.
And the homeoenergetics. And yes. And it has a few, but not all of the Solex supplements, right, Christy? I think a few of them are in there, but I don't think all of them are.
Ionics
so
Gold.
You can choose to select all of them. Yeah, you can. Now it will take, if you select a large group of items to put into the library, it will take a minute. So just kind of be patient and let it all load in. But you can select all of them, or if you only want certain ones, you can load them directly into your library. And then from there, it will show up. Now I have these, you can select group by category, so you can see them by category. And so you can see I have morning items listed, and I have, and again, it's by dosaging. Now you don't have to do it by dosaging. You can just put in whatever you normally would take maybe, and you just want to see when you need it. But I like to know exactly dosaging. So I have, 1 capsule, 2 capsules, 0.25 milliliters, those kinds of things. Now that does, again, takes a little bit of time to load those in, but I'll collapse all of these so that you can see all of the categories that we just saw in the custom scan are all right here.
So essential oils is in the custom scan. Amy, where do you get essential oils?
Put it in there like that.
Okay.
So the only thing that's preloaded through the scanner is homeopathic and some of the select supplements. So if there's anything else that you use in your wellness routine or that is not homeopathic or Solex, then you will want to load them in yourself. And so the way that you do that is, I'm going to walk you through that. So you go up to the top of the screen and you click the plus sign. And you're going to name the item. For example, I'm just going to type in something that I have here in front of me. I like to put the brand in case I need to look for it later, or if I have multiple brands of something, then I know which one exactly that my body is scanning for. And then I can decide which categories it goes in. Now, if you don't have the category of, like, I would maybe put this under therapies and maybe morning, or maybe I would just put it in therapies and I would put it under cell core. If you don't have those categories, then you can click at the top where it says applicable categories. You can click that plus sign, and you can type in whatever new category that is. So if you have a lot of a specific brand of something, maybe you use the whole line of a specific brand. In this case, for example, Cellcore. Then I've decided, okay, I want a whole category under that is Cellcore in case there's ever a time where you just want to know what do I need, what is my body scanning for just in the Cellcore line. Or you don't have to get that specific. Maybe you just want a morning, midday, and evening category. But I have found it beneficial to, if I only want to single out a specific type of therapy or a type of supplement, then I can choose to do that.
Yeah.
So then you would go through here and select, and then if you want to type a description, go ahead. Say that again, Anna Maria.
I was just going to say, so for instance, your vital scan or something else comes up with buggies, you want to scan in your cell core to see if you need a parasite detox or something like that. See if it matches what's coming up on another scan. Sounds like you may use it that way, right? Or if buggies come up and then cell core products are coming up, Paratex program, then you would go, oh, well, maybe I have to do
a little bit. But I think what I understood you say. Right. This comes in very handy if you're scanning someone in your family, maybe that you don't know very well, or a client that you don't know and you don't know what's going on in their body, and you're seeing the scanner pulling up certain things, and then you could scan and you'll see a correlation where, if you're seeing some parasites maybe coming up on the easy scan, the vital scan, and then you've also added in these supplements that correlate with that, and that just kind of confirms what you're already seeing in the body. Yeah. But then you can go and want to create a description, and then you'll type in the actual dosage, and you can see here, you can do a whole container. I've done that before. For example, I have kombucha loaded in here, so I'll have like a bottle of kombucha, or so you can even do sprays or drops, gummies, and if it doesn't apply to any of these categories, you can even just unspecify it. So you could maybe do that with maybe like red light therapy, right, Christy? Or some other modality that is not like something physically that you can put inside the glass bottle, if that makes sense. So then you put that in, and once you put all of that information in, you'll take your glass bottle. Now, I would love to see at some point, Christy, you can share this, an erase button on these screens, because sometimes I've gotten to this step and then I realize that I haven't erased the glass bottle, and I have to go out of here, erase it, and then come back in. So if you could tell the powers that be. So once you put that on there, then you can take the actual drops. You literally will just take the drops, put them right in here in the glass bottle, and scan the frequencies of that particular dosage. And now, if you're doing several of these at a time, like for example, if I want to load in multiple dosages of the para 3, then I start with the lowest dosage and I just keep adding drops, right? So I don't want to waste this, right? So I can just keep adding drops, and then I can either take this or I can even pour it back into the glass. So there's different ways that you can, or to get around, but you don't want to waste it. So just start with your lowest dosaging and then go up, and then you have this loaded in. And the ways I've done it is, if I get a new supplement or something, I'll load it in. Or if you have a lot, don't let it overwhelm you. Just start small. Start with maybe one category of something that you want loaded into your scanner. If you're going to switch between a liquid that you're wanting to scan in, and then now you want to put in a packet of something. I actually don't have this loaded in, I don't think, to the AO scanner, but if I wanted to add a packet of something, then I would just want to rinse this out, dry it out really well, and then erase any other frequencies, and then I could do this as well. So if you switch out between a liquid and then maybe a powder or something, you just want to clean out your shot glass. And you don't have to have a shot glass. I just find it easier and more portable and small to set on the actual device versus, a big glass jar or something like that. It's just much easier to do it in a small shot glass like that. And then, so then once you do that, you'll click scan, and it will scan the frequencies in, and then you'll click save. And then it will save that item into the categories that you put it into. So one caveat, I think I've mentioned this before in another call that we've done, but specific to, I know a lot of people use essential oils. If you want to load in an actual essential oil, the simplest way would be just to do this, right? or even if, they're in glass bottles, you could even just do this. But since it's by dosaging, you would literally be scanning in the entire bottle.
Oh.
And so you really want to do it by dosage. And so it could be cumbersome, which is one reason why I have not done that. You could, put in 1 drop, 2 drops, 3 drops, whatever minimum and maximum amount you kind of wanted to have as a dosaging, and you could do it that way. But I have found that I have so many essential oils that it's a bit cumbersome. So I have another tool that I use for that. The only thing that I have in my essential oil category or essential oil supplements. So supplements that have essential oils in them. So I just scanned them in as capsules. So it was much more user-friendly way to load in, but can do it. Just know that if you're scanning the bottle like this, that you're scanning the whole bottle. So I would be curious if anybody has done that, and then if you scan for your body,
it says take the whole bottle. That would be a little, maybe it wants you to take a bath with it or something, right? If it's like lavender, the whole bottle means take a bath with the whole bottle of it.
Yeah.
I have a question.
Yes.
So what do you,
so any other questions about
yeah.
anything?
So what about if you want to do specific things with tools? So the mat, if I put the different settings of the mat in, so I need to do Schumann frequency, I need, I put every frequency level in and I say like 15 minutes, Schumann frequency, third level, whatever, right? I'm wondering if that will come up as a therapy, as well as red light frequencies. So, do the 600s for the red, do the 810s for your blues, and put specific wavelength frequencies in here as therapies. So you could just focus on which frequencies specifically that your body may need, or particularly in that mat, that I could lay down on the mat and figure out, well, I don't need grounding right now, but my dopamine, is off, right? Or I just need to relax. Just lay on the mat for 30 minutes. So you could do a therapy for like 15 minutes and more of a relaxing vibe, but you really want to lay on it and absorb it for a half hour, say, right? So put in different, have you heard anybody use it like that? Oh.
There are a lot of people using it with the extra additional tools, the Infinity line from Solex, even the hub, and even with the hub, they're putting in the different like theta, alpha, beta, gamma, because they're not muscle testing. They rather just have the scanner do it. You can muscle test if you know how, but a lot of people are doing that. The red lights, there's different red lights that we have. We now have the red light mask, which the neck piece can be used anywhere on the body.
Yeah.
And it has different settings as well.
You gave me a brilliant.
What did she say?
Yeah. Well, speaking of the mask, as Anya Maria was talking, I was thinking even, the new AO scan mask, you could even turn it on to the blue light, lay it on here, scan that in, load it into the supplement, turn it on the green, turn it on the red, turn it on the infrared, and then have that in. You could put it in the therapies category, or maybe you wanted to have a whole separate category that just says red light therapy or something. Then you could know, oh, my body needs the blue today for 20 minutes. So yeah. I love that idea.
Yeah.
When I have that loaded in like that, Maria, come back a call and show us how you have it on.
I'm still muscle testing for those, right? So I will, because I have a big red light panel that I stand in front of. And so I muscle test with that on, do I need to do it today? I muscle test with my mat, and I muscle test with my infrared sauna going in that. So I don't do, I know a lot of people, I think if they're different, some people really, like you said, are a little bit, they're going through something and they need it every day. I don't need it every day. I don't need the same tool every day. So I try to at least do something around this every other day. So I use a different tool every other day, and then I fill something in every other day to sort of keep my body balanced. But, instead of muscle testing, it would be nice if you're just doing a scan anyway to see what comes up that way. I think that would be great. Yeah, I will put that on my list. I'd love to get that into the scan.
Yeah, so many ways that this can be useful, because like you said, if you're wanting to rotate through different modalities and therapies that you're using, so if you have them in the different categories, then you can say, you know what, only show me what is in this therapy area right now that I need. What is the top thing in the red light therapies that my body's responding best to? And yeah, just like you were saying, Anya Maria, this is really just a glorified muscle testing, like to the nine, right? And so if you either aren't confident in your muscle testing, this is another way. Or maybe if you're muscle testing and sometimes if you've gotten mixed results, maybe if you're not hydrated well enough or something, then this would be another way that you could kind of confirm what you're seeing with the muscle testing, or kind of help you down the right track. Or again, if you're doing it for somebody remotely and maybe you don't feel confident in muscle testing remotely or by proxy, those kinds of things, then this would be another way, again, that you can get that information. And so what I'll show you one last thing is, if I switch people here, so let's say you're doing this for someone else. Let me see, if I go to, search existing clients, here we go. I think I made a test person. Yeah. So if you have a new person that you're scanning, family member, client, those kinds of things, when you click on them and you click on supplements and therapies, they're not going to have anything in there. So what you can do then is from your library that you created, you'll click on the middle button. I think it's the middle button. And you'll see all the categories again. And so you can decide, if I'm scanning a client and I know they don't have any homeopathic remedies, or maybe they don't have red light therapy yet, maybe I don't select that category, or maybe I do select that category that shows them, hey, you're actually needing some red light therapy. Maybe you need it's time to invest in a red light therapy tool, right? So there's another reason why you might want to have these categories. If I'm doing this for a friend, and so I could select the category that I know they may already have these categories. And so I'm going to select them so I can, or I don't want to overwhelm them. And so I'm only going to give them, the general supplements. So I find great benefit in having the categories set up so that either for myself or for clients, to show them what their body is saying, hey, I'm needing this. And so, hey, you can use these tools that you already have, or maybe you need to invest in some other tools, because that's what your body is responding best to. So you'll just you can click on the category, and then you can click on the different, and then you'll click add to client. Now, if you're adding a lot, again, it's going to take a minute, so you have to wait a bit. None of the homeopathic remedies are going to be in there at all for them, so you'll have to go to the homeopathic library and add those as well if you want those. So you can decide if you're doing somebody new, if you're scanning someone else other than yourself, you can decide what supplements go into theirs as well. But once you have them loaded onto yours, then you'll be able to just add whichever one you want for them. Does that make sense?
Yeah. You know what is interesting too, if you're dealing with a lot of different clients, and some supplements are going to work with some clients and some won't, right? So if you use the Cellcore line for, the Paratrex package for parasite stuff, but then Global Healing also takes some of those Paratrex items and puts them into their formulas, right? So you could put Global Healings in here. You could put Cellcores. You could put 2 or 3 other parasite programs, and then their body may choose, it may not be Cellcore for everybody. Their body may choose a different line that is going to work better for them. So I find that really interesting that you could put a product line in, because some product lines, even though it may not be your top one, won't come up really great even when you muscle test it for people. So it's nice that the scanner might show a different line that would be more available to their body.
Right. Yes. Yeah. If you have multiple of different brands or multiple of the same things that are accomplishing the same things with different brands, absolutely. We'll see lots of times where our body will come up with something and, my body needs this one and not this one, right? So, and it's also helpful if you're just doing it at home for yourself that, if a probiotic comes up that's a specific brand or something from another line, then if you're out of that, it may not be the most ideal of what your body needs, but that you can substitute in something else maybe that is similar to that. So yeah, lots of uses for this, and I say just take a little chunk at a time. I usually would just take 30 minutes of time, and I'm gonna load these 5 supplements into the library, and that way I can have those in. No need to overwhelm yourself with, I have 300 different things modalities and things that I'm going to load in. Just take a little bit at a time, and load them in. And then you'll have, an extensive library where you can kind of pick and choose what you want to scan or load. And, yeah, one of the things I love about the having just the homeopathic category, because if you don't create that category, Solex just puts it in your general category, and I didn't like that. And what's nice about having the homeopathic one is, when you're out and about, if you've got, I actually just shot glass. So if you're out and about and maybe you don't have something, or if you're gone away for the week, you can actually just click on the homeopathic, and maybe you don't have your regular supplements that you might need when you're traveling, or maybe you don't have whatever XYZ and someone needs something. All you need is water and a shot glass. Right, Christy? and then you can just scan the homeopathic remedies that child or wherever you are with your traveling that you need, and then you've at least been able to do that for your body while you're gone. So literally all you need is your scanner, water, and some kind of glass. I learned that. I thought I should just keep this in a vehicle, keep a small shot glass in a vehicle, and that way if you're traveling or you're out and about and you don't have whatever, then you can just use that as your tool and doing that for your body. So,
somebody from the outside
about anything. I feel like this is
Amy. Somebody from the outside may think carrying a shot glass is used for a little bit different other kind of therapy, if you know what I mean.
Yes.
Which I think is right.
Yes. I use these all the supplements. Yeah.
It's not Jack Daniels. I get it. It's not Jack Daniels.
Or whatever else. Right.
Solex has conveniently made a shot glass that says Solex.
Oh.
Oh, do they? I didn't even realize that.
They gave them out at Day of Discovery. So they should be under swag, I think.
Oh, I didn't get one. Did you automatically get stuff from Day of Discovery?
Day of Discovery in person, you get a swag bag.
Well, okay.
So come with us this year.
I definitely need to come in person to some things. I really like this because, I just need to spend more time with it because there's lots of stuff you could put in this tool and you're just honing your health and your therapies so much by targeting that and help and assisting people. Like, for someone to have this tool, for them to be able to just, do this in the morning or do it in the evening or do it and then do some therapies. I mean, it's just such it's so easy once you get it set up. I can see that it's daunting for people who see it and are like, they don't know where to start. I can see some of that where there's a little bit of a hesitation that there's work needed to be put in, so, the first step is just, I'm going to use 1, 2, 3. That's it. I'm just going to keep using that. I don't set anything up. But when you see these demonstrations and hear people talking about the different ways they're using it, you're just like, oh my God, wow. You're just blown away by it, especially as a practitioner, because, just being able to work with clients at a different, more personalized level, without being there in person is really a great benefit, right? Because so much of the coaching now is online and you're just like, how do I work with this person? And how do I, fine tune my ability to help them see or feel or experience the frequencies that they need, right? So it's very cool stuff.
Yeah, a whole different part of the AO scan that I don't know how many people use this aspect of the scanner, but I love that you can use what you find works best for you, and you can pick and choose, because there's so much to the scanner that you really just can't do it all, but you can pick and choose what you feel like is working best for your family or for your clients, and then you can utilize those tools. And so, I hope this has been helpful, and I hope this is helpful to anybody watching this on the recording too. And I would love to see how other people are using other aspects of the tool, and using it either, just for their family or for other clients and things too. It's really, truly is customizable for you and how you want to use it. So I love that. Well, thanks for jumping on with me, you guys. This has been fun, and I will post the recording in here, so that so everybody can see or refer back to it, or Anya Maria, when you're going back through and plugging in your items, if you are like, how did I do that again, or what were those categories, then you can go back to that or whatever. So I hope you guys have a good afternoon.
Can you end the recording so I can just talk to you guys? Can you end the recording?